Good day, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking some geometry problems, and we're going to focus on the perimeter. The perimeter of a rectangle, a square, of a triangle, and the circumference of a circle. That's our focus for today. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. We're going to start with a rectangle. So if we have a rectangle, we know that it has a length and a width. And there's two formulas. Well, let me just go over the rectangle real quick, just to make sure we're clear. I'm going to have two lengths and two widths. The lengths are going to be equal to each other. The width is going to be different than the length, but the width is going to be equal to each other as well. Now, it also has 90-degree angles where they join. So four sides, 90-degree angles, but the length and the width will be different sides from each other. That's what makes it a rectangle. So let's go ahead and talk about, there's two formulas for a perimeter. I'm going to use P for perimeter. One of them is all I got to do is add all the lengths and widths together, because don't forget, a perimeter is just the outline of whatever object it is you're looking at. In this case, it's a rectangle. It's the outline of the rectangle. So I could add all them together, length plus width plus length plus width. That's not the formula we're going to use. I'm going to use the formula that says perimeter is 2 times the length, and that's because I have length 2 times plus 2 times the width. And that's the one we're going to use. That's the one I'm going to use. You could use either one. But anyways, let's say I have a length of 24 meters and a width of 10 meters. That's all the information they're going to give us when they ask us what's the perimeter. So I'm going to look up and use the formula. Perimeter is 2L plus 2W. And all I'm going to do when I write it out, I'm just going to put parentheses in for my variables L and W. And I'm going to take whatever my length is, and don't forget, when we're dealing with a geometry problem, if they give us a unit of measurement, that's an important part of the answer. In this case, I'm dealing with meters. So I'm going to take my length, 24 meters, and put it in parentheses so I don't forget the meters, the unit of measurement. My width is 10 meters. At this point, all I'm going to do is simplify. I'm going to say perimeter is 2 times 24 is, writing 28, guys, is 48 meters. Don't forget the unit of measurement. Plus 2 times 10 is 20 meters. Now all I have to do is just add them together. 48 plus 20 is 68 meters. So the perimeter is 68 meters. If you're ever not sure what to do with an object and you want to know the perimeter, just add up all the outside lines together and you'll have a perimeter. Let me do another one. And this time, let's change the unit of measurement. We're going to have 8 centimeters, 5 centimeters. So my length is 8 centimeters. My width is 5 centimeters. I want to know what's the perimeter or the outline of this rectangle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to look up my formula, and I'm going to use 2L plus 2W. I'm going to write in the formula with parentheses for my variables L and W. Then I'm just going to fill in the blank. My length is 8 centimeters. I'm going to bring it in and put it in there. 8 centimeters. My width is 5 centimeters. I'm just going to put it inside the parentheses. At this point, all I'm going to do is simplify. I'm going to take 8 times 2 is 16 centimeters, plus 2 times 5 is 10 centimeters. And all I got to do now is just add them together. 16 plus 10 is 26 centimeters. And once again, don't forget the unit of measurement. That is an important part of the answer. If they give me a unit of measurement on a test of centimeters, and I just put down 26 and that was it, that will probably get marked wrong, because it's not 26, it's 26 centimeters. That's an important part of the problem. Let me do one more. Put that back. Okay, and we're going to have a length and a width. A length of 30 feet and a width of 15 feet. I'm going to go ahead and just write down what I know. I know I'm looking for the perimeter. I know it's 2 times whatever my length is, plus 2 times whatever my width is. I'm just going to fill in the blanks. My length is 30 feet. My width is 15 feet. At this point, all I'm going to do is simplify. Perimeter, 2 times 30 is 60 feet, plus 2 times 15 is 30 feet. So perimeter is 60 plus 30 is 90 feet. Okay, I'm going to give you a problem to do, and you can pause the recording and then work on it, and then join me while we do it. So I'll put another one up here. We have a rectangle, we have a length, we have a width, and I'll give you the formula as well. Perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and the length is 10 inches, and the width is 8 inches. What's the perimeter of this rectangle? Pause the recording, work on it, and then come on back. So perimeter is going to be 2 parentheses for my length plus 2 parentheses for my width. My length is 10 inches and my width is 8 inches. So all I'm going to do is simplify. 2 times 10 is 20 inches, plus 2 times 8 is 16 inches. And we can simplify. 20 plus 6 is 16 is 36 inches. Let's do another one. You have another rectangle. You're going to have a length of 22 millimeters. That's mm is millimeters. And 13 millimeters for your width. Go ahead and pause the recording, work through this, and then come join us while we work it together. So perimeter is 2 parentheses for your length plus 2 parentheses for your width. My length is 22 millimeters and my width is 13 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and simplify. 2 times 22 is 44 millimeters. 2 times 13 is 26 millimeters. So perimeter is 44 and 26. So that's 10, that's 3, that's 70 millimeters. 44 plus 26, 10, 2, 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 70. 70 millimeters. Guys, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using scratch paper. But I'll give you one more to do, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so I'm going to have a length of 25 meters and a width of 14 meters. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? Go ahead and take a minute, pause the recording, and go ahead and work on it. Okay, so perimeter is 2 parentheses for my length plus 2 parentheses for my width. My length is 25 meters. My width is 14 meters. I just filled in what I knew. Now I simplify. 25 times 2, or 2 times 25 is 50 meters, plus 2 times 14 is 28 meters. I have 50 plus 28, that's 8, that's 78. Perimeter is 78 meters. Okay, let's move forward and let's look at the perimeter of a square. Now, a square, just like a rectangle, they have 4 sides, and just like a rectangle, all the sides are 90 degrees. The corners are 90 degrees of each other. But it differs when you look at a square. A square, all the sides are the same. So they're only going to give me one number. Let's say the side is 23 feet. They're only going to give me that one time because every side is the same. I could just add 23 plus 23 plus 23 plus 23, and I'd have my answer. But there's a formula that makes it easier. Perimeter of a square will be 4s, 4 times my side. So all I'm going to do is say perimeter is 4 and parentheses for my side, which is 23 feet. All I have to do here is just simplify. I have 23 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I have 92 feet for a perimeter. It's really, really easy. The formula for a perimeter is 4 times the side, because every side is the same. I have 23 feet, 23 feet, 23 feet. I've got 23 feet I'm adding together 4 times. This is where the formula comes from. Let's do another one. This is even easier than a rectangle. So I'm going to have a side of 35 inches. What is the perimeter of this square? Well, perimeter, I know, is 4 times whatever my side is. So I'm just going to say my side is 35 inches. All I've got to do is take 35 times 4. That's 20. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So my perimeter is 140 inches. That's all there is to this. just take whatever they give you for a side and multiply it by 4. Let me give you a couple to do. I want you to do this. I'll leave the formula up there. I'll give you one. And then pause the recording and you can work on it and then come back and we'll work through it together. So let's say I have a side of 15 feet. What is the perimeter of this square? Go to pause the recording and come back when you finish. Okay, so perimeter is going to be 4 times whatever my side is. My side is 15 feet. So perimeter, and guys, it's okay to use a calculator. It's 4 times 15 is 60 feet. Let's do another one. Let's say you have a side of 33 millimeters. Is millimeters. Go ahead and pause the recording, work on this, then we'll move forward. Okay, so perimeter will be 4 times whatever my side is. My side is 33 millimeters. So my perimeter is 33 times 4 is 12. 12 and 1 is 13. So I get 132 millimeters. That's the perimeter of my side. I'm sorry, the perimeter of my square. And one more. And then we'll move forward to triangles. Let's say I have a side of 19 centimeters. What is the perimeter of this square? Going to pause the recording, take a couple minutes, and come back and we'll work through it together. So perimeter is 4 times whatever my side is, and my side is 19 centimeters. So my perimeter is going to be 19 times 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So it's going to be 76 centimeters. That's your perimeter. So a rectangle is length times width. I'm sorry, length 2L plus 2W. Perimeter is 4 times your side. And let's look at the perimeter of a triangle. So I'm going to have a triangle right here. I'm going to have 3 sides, and this is really, really easy as long as you know the sides. I'm going to call this A, B, and C. When we get to area, we'll discuss A and B a little more. Now C, take a look. C is right opposite the right angle box where A and B joins. C can never be your A or B. C can only be C. That's called the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always longer than either A or B. So, but I'm going to know all 3 of these numbers. Let's say it's 7 feet for A, B is 24 feet, and C is 25 feet. Remember, when we're looking for a perimeter, all we're doing is finding the outline, and when in doubt, just add them together. Perimeter of a triangle is A plus B plus C. So all I got to do is say perimeter is 7 feet plus 24 feet plus 25 feet. And I'm just going to use my calculator because I'm going to cheat. So perimeter is 7 plus 24 is 31 plus 25 is 56 feet. That's all there is to finding the perimeter or the outline of a triangle. I just add all these numbers together. That's all there is to it. Let's take a look at another one. If if A is 9, well, let's make B 9. Let's try that again. Let's make B 9 millimeters. A is going to be 40 millimeters. And B is going to be 41 millimeters. All I've got to do to find the perimeter or the outline of this triangle is add all three lines together. So perimeter is 40 millimeters plus 9 millimeters plus 41 millimeters. And this one, I'm just going to do my head, it's a little bit easier. So perimeter is 9 plus 41 is 50. 50 plus 40 is 90 millimeters. All I did, I added those together, and I got 90 millimeters. Okay, I want you to do the next one. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll give you the problem. You go ahead and pause the recording and then work on it and come on back. So I'm going to have A is 3 feet, B is 4 feet, and C is 5 feet. I happen to be giving you perfect triangles here. You'll see that when we do area problems. So go ahead and pause this recording. Go ahead and solve this problem and come on back and we'll work it together. Okay, so perimeter is going to be A, which is 3 feet, plus B is 4 feet, plus C is 5 feet. All I have to do is add them together. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. Yes, 12 feet. I had to stop and double check my work. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me give you a little more difficult one. But really, even a difficult one isn't that difficult. All I'm going to do is add them all together. Let's say I've got 36 inches for A, 15 inches for B, and 39 inches for C. What is the perimeter or outline of this triangle? I'll go and pause the recording, figure it out, and come on back and we'll work through it together. Okay, so perimeter is going to be A is 36 inches, plus B is 15 inches, plus C is 39 inches. And I'm going to use my calculator, guys. There's nothing wrong with using a calculator. Okay, so I got 36 plus 15 plus 39 equals 90 inches. Pretty straightforward. One more, then we'll look at the dreaded circles. Okay, so we're going to have this one. We got A is 12 meters. B is 5 meters. C is 13 meters. Go ahead and figure this one out. I want to know what is the perimeter or the outline of this triangle. Go ahead and pause the recording. Come on back when you're done. Okay, so perimeter is going to be 12 inches plus 5 inches plus 13 inches. Just add them together. 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 plus 13, 0, that's 30. So I get 30 inches. That is my perimeter. Okay, let's go and move forward then. We're going to look at circles. There's a couple things we have to know about circles. I could either have a radius, which is from the middle of the circle to the edge, or I could have a diameter, which goes from one edge of the circle through the middle to the other edge. Now, the diameter is going to be twice as long as the radius, because the diameter goes from one edge to the center. That's basically a radius, and from the center to the other edge, which is another radius. So the diameter is going to be 2 times your radius, or the radius is half of the diameter. So radius would be diameter divided by 2. Just so you know, you could get either term, and you just have to understand the difference. So we're going to just use the radius formula, which says circumference is 2 pi r. Now, a circumference is the outline of the circle. Okay? It just wants to know, if I start at one point, let's just use the radius. Oh, put that back. There you go. We're just going to use the radius. And let's say the radius is 25 inches. And we want to know, what is the circumference? Now, circumference is just a perimeter, but because it's a circle, we call it circumference. We also need to understand what pi is. Now, guys, pi is just a number. In this case, we're going to round it to 3.14. Pi is an irrational number. It never repeats, and it never terminates. So we have to round it off. And we're going to go ahead and round it to 3.14, and that's what we're going to use. So all I'm going to do is say, replace what I know. I know I'm looking for the circumference. I know it's 2 times whatever pi is, and we're going to call that 3.14, times my radius, which is 25 inches. Well, I know that circumference is, all I have to do is multiply, and 2 times 3.14 is 6.28. I want to get it turned on. Times 25, it's going to be 157. 157, and the unit of measurement is inches. It will take 157 inches, go around and outline the circle or find the circumference. Let's do another one. We're going to leave pi there because we're going to use 3.14. The more advanced the math gets, the more we're going to round pi further down. But for this level math, we're just going to round it to 3.14. So if the radius is 19 feet, what's the circumference? Well, circumference is 2 pi r. I know that we're going to use 3.14 for pi. My radius is 19 feet. I'm just going to use my calculator. So 2 times 3.14, that's 6.28 times 19, and that gives me 119.32. Unit of measurement is feet. Once again, you notice I still am keeping track of my unit of measurement because that is a part of the answer. One more, and then I'm going to let you guys try. So let's say I have a radius of 30 millimeters. What's the circumference of this circle if the radius is 30 millimeters? Well, I know it's 2 pi r. That's the formula. And I'm going to use pi. I'm going to use 3.14. My radius is 30 millimeters. I mean, clean that up. My pen was stuttering. That's what I say when my handwriting's bad. So 2 times 3.14 is 6.28 times 30 is 188. All I'm doing is 2 times 3.14 times 30. And that gives me 188.4. Absolute cleaner. 0.4. And the unit of measurement is millimeters. So all I have to do, remember this 2 doesn't change. That's part of the formula. That's why I bring that straight down. Pi is not going to change. We're going to use 3.14. The only thing that is going to change is my radius. That's the only thing that changes. And I know that 2 times 3.14 is 6.28. And if you do this enough, you'll know that as well. But let's go ahead and let you do some. Let's change the unit of measurement. And let's say, let's change the radius is 15 centimeters. Go ahead, pause the recording, find the radius of the circumference of this circle, and then come on back and we'll work it together. Okay, so circumference is 2 pi r. So circumference is 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 15 centimeters. So I'm just going to use my calculator. 2 times 3.14 is 6.28 times 15. And that's going to give me 94.2 centimeters. And let's have you do another one. I'm going to clear everything. Change the radius. And let's see, you have a radius of 8 feet. What's the circumference of this circle if the radius is 8 feet? Go ahead and pause the recording. Come on back when you're done and we'll work through it together. Okay, we have 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 8 feet. All I'm going to do is multiply these 3 numbers together. 2 times 3.14 times 8 is going to give me 50.24, and the unit of measurement is feet. Okay, that should do it for today. This is perimeter of a rectangle, a square, triangle, and the circumference of a circle. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up and I will help you with it. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you next time. The next one we're going to do is going to be the area of a rectangle, square, triangle, and area of a circle. That will be the next one we work on. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.